The Newtownabbey mayor was accidentally knocked on the head with a placard on Monday evening. Let's discuss. My name is Lindsay Brown. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, guys, so some of you may be aware that there was a protest at the council offices in Newtownabbey on Monday evening. Outside, there was some citizen journalists that wanted to ask some questions to the councillors. Now, I didn't see this myself, but from what the mayor said, that she was knocked in the head with a placard. Now, an apology was sent up straight away the next morning. I hope that that apology got to the mayor. We know for definite that it got to other members of the council, so I am sure they will have passed that apology on to the mayor. The people around Newtownabbey are happy and willing to take accountability. It was an accident. It was wet, it was windy, it was dark, and unfortunately, you know, the mayor felt something on the back of her head, and the apology was sent. That right? It nobody meant it. It was an accident. Now, I was sort of there afterwards, right? So I want to get into that. I want to go through the mayor's statement, and then I want to get into. I was there. I didn't see this, but I was thereabouts. So stick around for that. Now, like I say, I go to these council meetings, and I had made a video a couple of months ago about one of the council meetings, and I had actually said, that there's a new mayor and it's a woman and how amazing that is, and that she seemed to I liked her, and she really handles that room really well, okay, and she really does. I've seen her up there in the chambers, and she handles the room really well. She's got a circle of a load of people, men and women around her, and from what I have seen her do a great job at managing that room. So, absolutely brilliant. So her statement was, I am shocked and dismayed by what I saw last night with the deliberate intimidation of elected representatives outside the council chamber. Now, I don't agree with her there. I don't believe there was intimidation. I believe there was, councillors were asked questions. That little accident occurred. She done a video, and even in her video she says, stuff happens. I don't see this woman as a victim, let me say that. Not as something that, a lot of strong women will see in other women. And I can see by the way she has approached this and she has dealt with this, that she is not a victim, right? She's not a victim at all. She goes on to say that what unfolded was in stark contrast to the goodwill expressed inside the meeting, where we witnessed a historic moment with an all-female top table. Well done, girls. Well done, ladies. Absolutely amazing. Love that. And I've seen that with my own eyes. Absolutely amazing. For the first time, a unanimous decision by all parties to condemn the disgraceful graffiti on the Glengormley War Memorial. Again, I've seen that. And I had actually spoke about it outside when I left the council meeting. It was one of the first things that I wanted to speak about, because I thought it was good that all the parties agreed on something, which you don't see happening that often. So, she is correct. There was a positive in the actual meeting itself. There's no doubt about that. The scenes outside were nothing short of chaos and should never have happened. It was a step too far, the mayor said. I personally experienced being shoved with a placard by one of the protesters. Whether accidental or not, they shouldn't have been so close. So we know it was an accident. We know the apology was sent right up, and in I think it was a later video, she had stated herself that she believes it was an accident. Like I say, this is a strong woman. She's not going to cry victim over an accidental knock from a bit of cardboard, right? Questions must be asked of the PSNI for handling the situation, which left much to be desired. The Ulster Unionist Council Group has raised concerns directly with the PSNI. I have absolutely no issue with people protesting. It's their democratic right. However, what we experienced last night was a step too far. Look, I wouldn't want anybody getting hit in the head with a placard or anything, really, okay? But this is what I seen, right? This is what I seen. And this is my opinion, by the way, guys. My opinion. I would love to know, because it seemingly to be that a group of these women walked out together, and I would love to know if these other women in Sinn Féin always walk out with the mayor. I don't know. you know, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they're all friends. Or for me, it sort of took me back to those school days, you know, where there's maybe somebody cool in the room, and i.e. the mayor, right? In this instance, you know, she's the cool one in the room, and so all these other women want to hang on to her and, you know, be around her. Oh, we'll hang around with the cool kids. And I believe that's maybe what happened. But look, that's my opinion, right? Now, I had been actually just walking past the car that the mayor had just got into, and one of these other ladies, she the mayor got into the car. She didn't seem to have a problem at all, you know. She just got into her car and was whatever. But one of these other women that had walked out with her, she starts shouting all over there, the mayor's been hit! The mayor's been hit, right? Now, maybe I've exaggerated that a wee bit, but it was something along those lines. As I was walking to my car, I didn't see the mayor. The mayor was already in the car. And I looked over at this woman and I started laughing. And it wasn't that I was laughing at the mayor getting hit in the head. Of course I wasn't, right? That would be ridiculous for a woman to laugh at another woman getting hit. That would be silly. But I was laughing. Like, don't get me wrong. I was laughing at the way this woman was a little bit hysterical, to be quite honest. This whole victim mentality when it wasn't even her, right? And it was like, my mate's been hit, right? I had to shout it all over the place here. And when she seen me laughing, she starts shouting even more. She's laughing because the mayor got hit, right? I was not laughing at the mayor got hit. I was laughing at the hysterics, in my opinion, of this woman, right? The mayor handled it really, really well from what I seen. Again, I didn't see what happened, but I'm talking about directly after it. Look, we need strong women like the mayor, okay? We don't need these other hysterical women. Anyway, let's go on through what the other councillors within the mayor's party, the UUP party, said. So Mark Cosgrove added, while we respect the right to a peaceful protest, threats or intimidation against elected representatives are wrong and not be tolerated. Again, guys, I don't believe there was intimidation or any threats at all. We will never accept attempt to bully or threaten councillors. Again, nobody was threatened. People just wanted a conversation. They just wanted a conversation. If the people feel strongly about an issue, which is the bedrock of any democracy, they should make their voices heard at the ballot box. Well, guys, we have to take accountability for that. And I personally am one that has to take accountability because I did not vote. Okay? I did not vote. Still, until I started getting an understanding of ideologies and studying it for quite a few years now and led me to this point, I didn't vote. And so I actually want to ask the Ulster Unionist Party here, because we are going to vote next time, right? And I'm going to do everything I can to get all the other women out there who don't normally vote, all the men out there who don't normally vote. You know, we're coming to the ballot box this next time, right? So just know that. And so we'd love to know, you're saying here, UUP, Mark Cosgrove, you're saying here that we should make our voices heard through the ballot box. So we'd love to hear what your views are on this mass illegal immigration. What is your views on what's happening in the country? Because as far as I can see, you aren't really speaking up much about it. So we would love to hear that. But we will take accountability that we didn't show our voices at the ballot box. And I will also say that, you know, us ticking for a certain party, that's not my voice being heard. My voice being heard is you having a conversation with us, like some of the lads were trying to do there on Monday evening, was have a conversation. So maybe you're saying our voices should be heard, are you? Well, we want it more than just a tick exercise at the ballot box. We want actual conversations. So maybe you could invite some of the Newtownabbey concerned residents up to your lovely chambers, where, by the way, it was lovely and warm in there and quite cold outside. But maybe you could invite some of us up there and let's have conversations, because that's all we're asking for is conversations. Unfortunately, we don't get an opportunity to sit in a room. And unfortunately, you cannot continue to treat us like little peasants and just say, oh, it's a tick exercise. No, we want conversations. For our voices to be heard, we do not take a ballot. We speak and we have conversations. And so that's what we would love, is a conversation, a sit down around a table and a conversation had. Now, one of the other party members, Robert Foster. He says democratic protest is wholly correct and part of any civilized democracy. What happened to Leah is not acceptable. Again, guys, an apology was sent up right away. This was an accident. Nobody meant to. I don't think she was hurt, and you know, I don't know if the mayor would say she was actually hurt. But she felt something. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But it was an accident. Councillor Leah Kilpatrick, the first female mayor of Antrim and Newtownabbey Borough Council, has been inspirational in convincing young women to enter the world of politics. And I think that we need to shout that out, that Leah's done such a great job in doing that. I done a little bit of looking at some of her videos, and she does seem to do a great job of doing that, and that is amazing. And as a woman, I really need to celebrate Leah for doing that, you know, and I really need to say, well done, Leah. Absolutely incredible, and that's amazing. And you know, I think that this is a strong young woman, and I think it's fantastic. The work she's doing to try and encourage other women to join politics, right? Incidents like this will do nothing to convince other females to enter this sometimes toxic world. So I sort of agree and disagree with that, right? Because if women are going to enter politics, we need strong women, okay? We need women like Leah, who was able to manage a room in her chambers, and also manage this particular time where, you know, she made a video saying she knows it's an accident. She got into the car. It's maybe weak women like the other women that were around her making a big deal out of it, crying the victim, getting a little bit hysterical over it. You know, it's those type of women that we maybe don't need in politics, right? We need strong women. So yes, I definitely agree about getting more women into politics, but these women need to be strong-minded, right? They need to know how to deal with situations like Leah did. Not to throw their toys out of the pram like a few of the councillors did there after Monday night. So, guys, we will be coming to the ballot box. Hopefully all of us will definitely move forward in making sure that we go to the ballot box. Hopefully more of us speak up about how they're feeling, and maybe the local councillors will sit down and have a discussion with us. And again, I would like to say that Leah, from what I've seen of her, she seems like a strong woman, and it is absolutely inspirational for women to see an all-woman panel there. And you know, I would definitely encourage strong women to join politics, and I think Leah is, you know, a great example of that. So thank you so much, guys. Catch us on the next one.